This video is long overdue. Should have did this a long time ago. But like I always say, I've been very, very busy with my secular and family life. And it's very hard for me to squeeze off a video. The last one I did on reverse, I did mention that that was one of the reasons why I take a long time getting my videos out, and I do all my videos on the fly. So this one that I'm about to do now, to me, is the most serious video that I've done in all times, since I've been doing this for over 3 years, when I woke up to a lot of things that's going on. And I'm here to wake everybody up as best as I can that's listening to this video. Please take a few minutes to sit down, bring your family in, and listen to this important message that I'm bringing to you. If anything that you do is to take this video into deep consideration of what I'm about to say, this is a pronouncement that I'm making against every religious organization out there, and I've had it. It's time for somebody to take a stand and start waking everybody up. I mean, you can't wake, people have to wake up on their own. But I'm not going to be sugarcoating anything anymore. I'm going to take the gloves off, and I'm going to expose every religious organization out there in this video the best that I can. I mean, this is a tough and long subject, but this is very important. And I'm going to start off by saying this. If you are in a religious organization, being Catholic, Jehovah's Witness, Baptist, Protestant, Buddha, whatever you're in, you have to remember that you can serve the Father, the Most High, directly. You do not need a church or entity or in between, a mediator. The only mediator is the Messiah, the one that Christ's blood gave. He gave up his life for us, okay? My pronouncement is to leave these man-made organizations, and I'm going to break it down to you, and serve the Father through the word, prayer, and through his Son. That's what salvation comes through. All you have to do is have belief in the Son. So as you can see, I'm bringing up the Illuminati hand pyramids because I'm going to break down and show you that every televised religious program, all their spokesmen or their clergymen, preachers, bishops, are all throwing up this pyramid, letting you know that they're eating out of Satan's pot. And I'm tired of trying to explain this to family and friends and people on my truth channel, that this is not a gesture. This is an identifying mark that you're eating out of Satan's pot. And if you're having a difficult time believing that, then that's your butt. Okay? So let's get to it. It's time for y'all to stop compromising your life. And the signs, what do they say? The signs are everything. The signs rule the world. And that's what's happening here. These are going to be displayed in the videos that I took video clips of different preachers and JW.org spokesperson. They're all throwing up just about every hand signal here that identifies them as a Masonry Illuminati organization. When are y'all going to wake up? I mean, what is it? A picture is 1,000 words, has a lot of truth and meaning. Okay, so all these are just gestures. I do it too. You probably do it. That's what my sister told me, and a lot of other people, that you try to bring this to their attention. It's time for y'all to stop. Now, people are reasoning, well, leave it up to the Father or God to take care of. If they're doing anything corrupt, then leave it up to him. Okay, so you're going to continue to be fed by them spiritually? They're identifying themselves as being eating out of Satan's pot. Not only are Jehovah's Witnesses throwing this up, but Catholics and every religion out there is throwing up these pyramids. Why? Because they're eating out of Satan's pot. The most popular one is the pyramid. But these ones are all interesting. Look at the one at the bottom with the 3. That's the triple tranny hand signal. All these are being thrown up in the videos that I'm going to show you. So I'm going to start here at the beginning. Some images that I took. And this is T.D. Jakes. I'm not too sure what faith he's in. I want to say Baptist. But as you can see, there's a pyramid next to him. Bishop T.D. Jakes. And I got some videos of him coming up. And he's going to show you that he's eating out of Satan's pot as he's throwing up the hand pyramid. Can you see it? Why are they doing that? Stop saying that this is just a way to hold your hand for good posture. It's time for you to stop. Stop it. Why are they all doing it? Look. Pyramid. Pyramid. This is Creflo Dollar. Dollar. He's mocking you right there. It's all about the money. And I'm gonna get into that too, on how they're profiting. Remember that game Monopoly? All right. You know what a Monopoly is? Remember the little red and green little houses, and your goal is to bankrupt your opponent? Well, that's what these organizations are doing. They're creating all these congregations, all these properties, these churches. That brings in revenue. That's a big tax write-off. Okay? Holding up the pyramid and smiling right in your face. Why are they? This is not by coincidence. He's holding up, this is the Pope, he's Catholic. He's holding up the 3 6s. Okay, take your hand and put it like you're doing okay. And hold it back, and you'll see the first one is a 6. And then right behind that is a 6, and behind that finger is a 6. 666. He's holding up the pyramid. Let me zoom in. This is the Pope. And he looks evil. Evil as hell. I could say hell, that's in the Bible. No one can serve 2 masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. So check it out. You say it's okay to continue to be led by these religious leaders throwing up these hand signals, right? They're showing you that they serve Satan, but they're presenting the word to you. So they're serving 2 masters. But according to this scripture here in Matthew chapter 6, verse 34, which the Bible is authentic. It's not a fake book, okay? For those who are saying that the Bible is a fake book, then what book or direction did the Most High give us? You think that he's just going to just leave us hanging without any words or commandments? I mean, are you kidding me? Don't mock the Father and say that the Bible is not authenticated. It is. It's inspired by him. But you can't serve 2 masters. So you got to make a decision today. Are you going to continue to be fed spiritually by these people when you can feed yourself directly through the word, the Bible? What is wrong with you people, man? You think the Father is playing? He's giving you an opportunity to first wake up, second, make a change. And I woke up over 3 years ago, okay? No one can serve 2 masters. This is Matthew 6:24. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other. I just read that. I'm trying to emphasize how important it is to understand that. You got to make a clear decision on what you're going to do here. Now it's time for you to make a decision, and it's time for a change. Okay? There's nothing wrong with saying, I'm not following this organization because these men are throwing up what appears to be Illuminati Masonry symbols. What's wrong with you? You could still continue to be devoted to the Father and his clean morals and his word, the Bible, without them, because there's clearly something wrong here. I'm not fabricating, I'm not an apostate. I serve the Father. His name is Yahweh, Jehovah. We have to go and do our research on the original name, but I call him the Most High, or the Father, because there's a lot of clarification that needs to be made out here. We have to unlearn what we've learned and learn it again, because we don't know how much truth that we got out of it. I was raised as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, okay? I'm now what they call disfellowship. But before you click off this video, finish watching what I'm saying, because I'm not here to corrupt anybody or turn them apostate. I want you to stay serving Jehovah, but you need to see how important it is to see that these men are doing these hand signs in your face. And the reason why you're not understanding it is because you don't understand what they're doing. Once you understand what they're doing, then there's going to be an easy decision for you. Okay? I've already showed you in the previous images what these symbols symbolize. So why are they doing it? And I'm going to show you some videos that will show them doing it. Jesus answered, my kingdom is not part of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then they would be, my servants would fight for me. So he told this to Pontius Pilate, that his kingdom is not part of this world. So what they're doing is showing that they're part of the world, the government. Why do you think the Jehovah's Witness and all these other religions supported COVID? Telling you to go down and get shot to get a COVID. Okay, that's your decision if you want to do that. But just think on that, ponder on that. We have to remember how Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob served the Father. They didn't go to a church. Okay? Occasionally they did the Sabbath. That was once a year. If you don't know what the Sabbath is, just do your research on it. I don't have the time to elaborate on that. But my point of bringing this out is that we need to get back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who is and descendants of the Messiah. They served and had a personal relationship with the Father. In fact, Abraham was referred to as the Father's friend, his best friend here on earth. Okay, you can get that relationship as well. Abraham was visited by 3 angels, and one of them was a representation of the Father. So it was an angel that spoke for the Father, the Most High. That's as close as you can get. And the 2 angels went and left Abraham here with the representation of the angel of Jehovah, and they went to Sodom and Gomorrah. And then the angel of Jehovah left here, and he went to Sodom and Gomorrah, and he destroyed that immoral city, okay? The reason I'm bringing this out is you can have a personal relationship with the Father. The reason why I'm saying this is because men are not incorruptible. They can be corrupted. So the word tells you, do not put your trust in noble men. Here's Abraham having a personal relationship and conversation with the Father. You can still do that. This is the hand pyramid that they're going to be throwing up. You notice he's wearing a suit and tie. That represents the clergy are involved, okay? Barack Obama, who was the former president, he works for the government. He's got an evil, demonic smile, and he's holding up, this is what they call the goat. It's on this page right here. Goat horns. Vladimir Putin, he's holding up the pyramid. Is this by coincidence? This is a posture. So if you got 2 enemies holding up Illuminati hand signs, then what does that mean? Pay attention. See, you guys don't connect dots. You connect the dots that that you see in an image. Connect dots that ain't supposed to be connected like this. This is called connecting a dot that doesn't supposed to be connected. These guys are connected. How are these two guys connected? They're throwing up the same Illuminati hand signals. That means that they're in the same what? Brotherhood. You got it? They're in the same brotherhood. So that fake Ukraine war, don't tell me that we are complete enemies against this country, Russia. And Russia is enemies of Ukraine. They're all in the same brotherhood. He's throwing up the one-eye symbolism. Vladimir Putin, they're all in the same boat. They're all in the same brotherhood. The $1 bill is right in your face. The one that, look, one eye, one eye. One eye, one eye. I'm trying to make this as easy as possible for you to understand. Just take your money out of your pocket and look at it and read what's inscripted. What does the words there mean? Look at the pyramid and the bricks. It's all masonry, okay? Revelations chapter 12, 7 through 9. And war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought with the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought, but they did not prevail, nor was a place found for them in heaven any longer. The reason I'm bringing this up is, say if you were an angel and you were living in heaven and you saw Satan and his demons going back and forth to earth, having relations with the women, producing the Nephilim, and then they come up and you're like, hey, what's going on? Just because they're in heaven and the Father was allowing them to be there doesn't mean that you should follow him. He's not following the word. He sat there and he sat among the assembly of the angels, but you have to make sure that you don't fall victim to a society or organization claiming to be using God's name. Everybody calling themselves a brother is not a brother. And as a result, he drug down a third of the angels followed him and were misled. So don't be misled. Stay awake. Be of the Gideonites that the Father asked to pick an elite 300 from thousands of soldiers that were fighting for the Most High back in the days, okay? He had them drinking from and whoever kept their head up while they were drinking from this pond were to be the ones that are going to fight his battle. It was an elite class of men. Now, my point of bringing that up is that those that kept their head down must have reasoned, oh, the Father is protecting us, because they were drinking the pond of water in the midst of their enemies. Don't get it twisted that the Father is going to protect you all the time. You got to meet him halfway, 50%, okay? Meet him halfway. You got to be woke. Then he can meet you the other half. Don't fall under the impression that he'll handle this situation. No, you got to stay awake and pull yourself out, or you'll be drugged down like the third of the angels right here. They were drugged down. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? So that brings me back to Vladimir and Obama and Biden. They're not divided. Why would they fight against themselves? And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? The Jehovah's Witness and Catholic and all these religions are throwing up the same identifying marks as Satan's kingdom. And he called them unto him, and he said unto them in paradise, how can Satan cast out Satan? Take heed that they yet despise not one of these little ones, for I say to you unto you that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. See, they had the opportunity to stand before the Father, but that doesn't make them trustworthy. You have to take responsibility and pay attention, okay? Now let's bring this volume up on this here.
Is a form of Yeshua or Yahashua. Actually means Jehovah is salvation.
And so we believe that Jesus also, God is his Father, but also his God. Yeah. And because of Jehovah, Jesus has salvation. Now this guy right here, let me tell you, he's the representative. He's the spokesperson of the Jehovah's Witness organization. And during this pandemic, this man must have done over 50 interviews. I think he did an interview in every state on every TV morning show. Why are they inviting? I thought everybody despised Jehovah's Witnesses and their preaching work. Now all of a sudden, they're behind Jehovah's Witnesses preaching work, like wondering, well, what happened to you guys? Where are you? And this guy representing an organization constantly keeps his hands up in a pyramid. Let's go. So Jehovah is the supreme being, the one we worship. Jesus is our Savior.
Yeah, all right. And your theology, because as you mentioned, you are Christian. And so, Christian or denominations, or you can be offshoots of Catholicism and all types of other things.
Sure. Pay attention right here. Let me see. Hold on. I think it's...
As you mentioned, you are Christian. And so, Christian or denominations, or you can be offshoots of Catholicism and all types of other things.
Sure. When people talk about Christians, they typically kind of lump them together. But here's what we believe Christian is. Somebody who follows Christ, a practicer of Christianity. We haven't perfected it, but we're practicing and trying to...
perfect, right?
Exactly, yeah. Trying to follow the footsteps of Jesus Christ. And as a result
He's giving
of that,
you a combination
we hope to live
of
better
different
lives.
Illuminati signs. He has to identify himself on whose side he's on. He's on Satan's side. But yeah, he's speaking up for the Father.
Son, and that Jesus, Jehovah is his salvation. We believe Jesus
What else
is
you
a
notice?
created being.
You saw that on his hand? It's a masonry ring. He's a mason.
The Bible says that he's the firstborn of all creation. Jehovah is the one he prayed to in the heavens. Jehovah is his father and creator. And so we believe they're two separate beings. We obviously believe in Jehovah. We believe in Jesus. And we believe in the Holy Spirit as the force of God.
All right. When we die, we go to heaven. Do you believe in heaven?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
He's going to give you the pyramid
that's
again.
Where God resides, along with his son, Jesus Christ, and the angels. But we also believe that there will be those who will go to heaven. But we also very much believe, and really a tenet of our faith is that Jehovah hasn't abandoned his purpose for the earth, that the earth was created for human beings, that the earth was supposed to be a paradise.
Gold
and
horns.
why would he change that? Because two people made a mistake or sinned. He wouldn't. We believe that he still wants to and will make this earth a paradise. Therefore, those who go to heaven will actually rule in a kingdom that will bring this earth to a paradise.
All right, this is one of those things that sparks conversation.
So you can't slave for two masters. He's representing supposedly the Father and Jesus. Okay, but out of the same breath or out of the same gestures, he's showing that, signifying that he's with Satan. Okay? Here he is on another show.
Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live, Roku TV, Apple TV, Alexa. Don't forget Fire Stick. I'm super honored to have with us right now the spokesperson for Jehovah's Witnesses. We have with us right now Robert Hendricks III. Good morning. Welcome to the show, Robert.
Look at the laptop. You see that? What is that? Man, if y'all don't start paying attention, I don't know what else to do for you. I'm trying to help you. Look, what is that? Okay, that's an Apple computer, right? That's one of the biggest industries, money-making computer companies out there. Well, what do you notice about the Apple? What do you notice about it? What's wrong with it? It's bitten. Okay, now what do you know about a bitten fruit or apple? That's right, bingo, Adam and Eve. Why do you think why does Apple embrace that emblem? Why not just an apple? Why has it got to be bitten? It's to mock what happened in the Garden of Eden that brought us into sin. They're mocking it. They're embracing it because this is our kingdom. This is our world that the Father has allowed Satan to rule. And they're showing homage to Satan for bringing this new world order in. You got it? Right in your face. You're probably holding that Apple phone. Wake up. Wake up, man. Let's go.
Thank you. It's good to be here, Aaron.
Here's that guy
Well, you know
again.
what? Look, I understand during this pandemic right now, a lot of religions out there are currently trying to
1490.
do the right thing. Obviously, Jehovah's Witnesses are doing
ABC.
something pretty unprecedented in the history of Jehovah's Witnesses. I understand typically there's a district
This is the
convention
same
which happens
spokesman.
each and every year, but this time, this is the first time you're doing it online. Why?
Well, back in March,
Now, you notice what they're doing
decided
as
as
he's
an
throwing up the
organization that
pyramid.
all public
You notice they panned back so they can get at the top part of his chest and the lower part so that you can see the signs. Why not just the headshot? Because they want you to see him throwing up these signs, okay?
meetings
He
in
has
our
to get
public
it out.
ministry would have to
Pyramid.
stop. The basis for that was very simple. Two Christian principles that we all
Pyramid.
agree on. One of them is that we respect the sanctity of life. And so knocking on doors, being in the public ministry, bringing people together in a public meeting would not respect that basic tenet of Christianity. And also
see it?
the second greatest commandment, which is love your neighbor. And because we love our neighbor, knocking on their doors we felt was not something that would be.
So I want you to do some research for me. Go to Google and type in why is everybody holding their hand in a pyramid, and it's gonna show you. It's not gonna answer you. It's gonna say the pyramid signifies power, and that's what it does. It signifies power. Why do you think the Illuminati pyramid is a pyramid? It's a pyramid that you could work your way to the top and become powerful. This organization is very powerful, and I'm gonna get into how much they're making and how much power they have. When I say making, I'm talking about money, okay? Why do you think the Messiah threw over the temple monies? Because the truth is free. Because the truth is free. The truth, you do not have to make a donation. Let them build their own buildings to meet at. You don't have to meet in a building. You don't have to pay for the electric bill. You don't have to make a donation to nothing. The truth is free. And that's what Jesus was disputing. And that's why he was angry and threw that over. And this is what he's going to do to these organizations today. He's going to throw them over.
Showing that love and bringing them to our public place would not be loving. It's interesting because those are the two principles that guide us in all the things that
Let's
we
go
do.
to the next one.
Oh, well, for over 100 years, Jehovah's Witnesses have been known for their door-to-door ministry. A year ago, all of that changed. As witnesses stopped knocking due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the church closed all its public meetings at its 13,000 congregations in the United States. The question now is, how has the COVID-19 pandemic impacted the Jehovah's Witnesses ministry?
Hold on, stop right there. So you're telling me that you're going to stop the preaching work because of a COVID-19 disease? When they was teaching us as I was growing up that this preaching work would never stop. That in fact, if anybody tried to stop us, it would trigger off Armageddon. But here they are using this as an excuse. You know how long it's been shut down? Over 2 years. Are you kidding me? You still got other organizations going out there, going out on Mormons or on bike. You got strip clubs that are open. You got Domino's Pizza. You got Papa John's. You got all these new Instacart. All these things are coming up. They're going door to door. Why are they shutting down the preaching work? Okay? And it still ain't going.
And how have they adapted? We're pleased to be joined now by the U.S. spokesperson at Jehovah's Witness, Robert Hendricks. And Robert, good to have you with
Look at
us.
that demonic
Good to
smile.
be with you. Thank you so much.
This man has went on every
Thank you.
talk
And
show.
as we said, COVID-19 has impacted everybody.
The
But
reason I
from
bring
a
that up
spiritual, religious perspective,
it's because when I was coming up in this organization, they used to get on these TV evangelists. Remember that? When the Jehovah's Witnesses used to bash Jimmy Swaggart and who's the other guy? Tammy Faye Baker and that whole mess. You remember that? And that preacher crying because he got busted having sex with a woman. Okay? Now here they are doing the same thing that they criticize churches for. This is a form of TV evangelism, and also their website, jw.org, is a TV evangelist show. And they throw up the pyramids quite often there.
talk to us about how that's affected the Jehovah's Witnesses?
Well, I think most people know, especially in New York City, that we are a very public
Goat
religion.
horns.
Where we are out there, we're knocking on doors, we're in the streets. You see us, especially on Saturday mornings
Goat
on the corners.
horns.
But all through the week
The
also,
two thumbs
we're
up.
kind of
Goat
we have been a
horns.
staple
Goat
for many
horns.
years. In the
Hello,
subway
wake up.
system,
This is what I'm
Grand
showing
Central
you. This is
Station,
what I'm
Times
doing. I mean, how
Square,
many times I got to
the
show y'all,
street
man? It's like beating a dead horse, really. It's going to be your responsibility to wake up. Now, let's switch to a different. Let's switch to a different church. Joel Osteen, 666.
Your story. You're being limited
That
by what
that
you're
hand
telling
signal is
yourself.
Illuminati.
What you believe about
Illuminati.
yourself. How you see your circumstances, the story that you've written will override what anyone
Goat
else
horns.
says. It's even more powerful than the facts. You can be incredibly gifted. You have a great personality. But if you tell yourself that you're average, you don't have much to offer, your gifts won't come out like
Goat
they should.
horns.
Is the story you're telling yourself keeping you from rising
Goat
higher?
horns, pyramid.
Why don't you tell yourself a new story? The scripture says
Goat
God is the
horns,
author and
666.
finisher of your faith. He's the author. Psalm 139.
The spinning ball is the earth. Do you really think you're living on a ball earth, or is it flat? Do you actually know what? That's another video, man. But anything that they promote, you gotta raise your eyebrows on it.
Says, all of your days were written before you were born. God has already written
Goat
your
horns,
story.
pointing them.
The key is to get your story in line with his story.
Hand in the pocket.
God says his plans for you are for good.
Goat horns,
to give you
pyramid.
a future and a hope. He
Hand in
calls
the
you a
pocket is
masterpiece,
Illuminati gesture.
valuable,
One hand in the pocket.
victorious, an
One hand in the
overcomer.
coat jacket
He
is
said what was
Illuminati.
meant for
One
harm,
pants
he's
leg
turned
rolled
into
up
your
and the other one
advantage.
down is Illuminati
You may have
signature.
been through bad breaks,
Do your research,
things that are
man.
not fair.
Here's
And I'm going to
TD
move
Jakes.
as quickly as I can. But if I don't get finished, I'll come back Wednesday night and do it. I'm going to talk the bumpy road to better.
He like a big walrus. Okay?
The bumpy road to better. A lot of people
Pyramid.
teach about better as if
And
it
he
were
holds it
magic,
up
as if
real
it would
strong for you.
happen simply or easily. You could come up for prayer and somebody could anoint
He letting
with
you know
oil
I'm
and lay
eating out of
hands on
Satan's
you
pot.
and convey their spirit upon you without
This
going
is not
through
a
the process that
coincidence.
they went through.
Goat
But
horns.
in reality, it's not that simple.
2 thumbs up and go
As I've
home.
traveled around the world, and many other times that I've had people come up and say, I want a double portion of your spirit. And I say, do you want a double portion of my trouble? Because you can't get a double portion of my spirit until you can stand a double portion of my trouble. That was the problem with Elisha's request. He was asking for a simple solution to a journey,
666.
long-term
666.
issue that Elijah said, if you can take this journey and see me when I'm taken up, I'll give you the double portion. But I can't give a double portion to somebody
Pyramid
that's not
coming
going
up.
to walk this thing out.
Okay, this
Say
is
amen,
not
somebody.
this is not a coincidence. And if you look in the audience, there's thousands, okay? There's thousands that attend the conventions of the Jehovah's Witnesses. All these religions have thousands of congregation members. And you know what that means? All right, so we're going to get into it. I don't want to really jump ahead, but you think about it. This is how they make their money, off what they call sheep-like people. You people are sheeples. When you can also be a shepherd. Did you know that? You don't have to just be a follower. You can also be a leader.
This is net worth.
Here is some information for how much is the Jehovah Witnesses worth? According to ABC, last year, it reported an income of more than $32 million. As a religious charity, it receives significant federal and state tax exemptions.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? And then look, $1.45 billion in asset. The Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, $1.45 billion in assets. Okay? They're just like the Church of Scientology. Jehovah's Witnesses practice emotional blackmail, and they don't get taxed because they consider their income as donations. And here comes their tax return. Look at the dollar amount in red to the left. See that? 1.45. This is a legit tax return. They have to publicize it. See the tract society and the address? This is what they made off you. Okay? Look at it. That's a $500 million right there. 675 million? Are you kidding me? They make millions of dollars. Okay, so say there's 8 million Jehovah's Witnesses they're claiming, and everybody donated $1 once a month. That's $6 million just for 1 month. And then what's 6 million times 12? They're making a billion, they're making over $1 billion. This industry is rich, okay? I'm upset, man, because I've been with the organization for years and my family is still in it, okay? And made many donations. But when you look at this image of Jesus, is he in a building? Is he in a hut, a mud hut? Is he in a tabernacle? Look at this man. He's sitting out on the mountainside talking to people. This is the way it should be done, okay? You don't have to pay for the truth. The truth is free. You see that anybody donating to him? Do you see it? Where he's at? Jesus did not claim any religion, and I'm going to show you a couple things. Matter of fact, let's go to it right now. Where in the Bible does it mention that Jesus Christ went to church? If by Jesus Christ you are referring to the man called Jesus of Nazareth or Jesus, son of Joseph, to use modern English translations of his name, then why he could go to church? He was a devout Jew who attended synagogue. Besides, churches were not invented during his lifetime. Christianity, as we know it, did not have its own beginnings for decades after following his death is when they incorporated churches. Jesus didn't go to church, man. Y'all go to church because you're following these men who are embracing his words and using it for a profit. That's what it's all about. As you can see under the tree on the mountainsides with his 12, talking to folks. He did not want $1. He was broken poor, just like me. Okay? And that's the end of my clips there. So I think I presented enough information and images to again make a declaration against all religion. I'm asking everyone that has a brain to pay attention, connect the dot, and see that these men are corrupted. They're not followers of the true God. They're actually been implemented into these organizations and to divert them away from the Father. If you're not paying attention, then you're not going to get it. You have to stay awake. Look at the scriptures in the Bible, reference the word awake, and it'll give you thousands of scriptures, okay? So again, this is my declaration that if you're a part of any organization, get out. Serve the Father on your own until he comes and changes the situation that we're in and brings in his kingdom. In the book of Matthews, it says, let your kingdom come in heaven, also upon earth. So when he kicks Satan out, his kingdom is now in earth clean and holy. And that's going to be his next move is going to clean it out down here because he cast Satan down here. Why do you think Satan has the key to every church and organization? Everything you see on TV, Snicker bar commercial, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, Domino's, the Weather Lady, everybody's throwing up an Illuminati hand sign. Anybody that's been following me, I've done broke it down 1,000 times. It's time for you to stop and make a decision. I'm tired of preaching it over and over. I actually don't talk to people about what is truth. When it starts hitting the fan, you're going to search for us. You're going to search for the truth, but it may be too late. Do the math, connect the dots, and make a decision. Stop playing.